Hello and welcome to episode 26 of The Hunger Games! That was the first thing out of my mind. I don't know why. To the Crafty Boys! Thank you all for coming. I certainly hope that our show will entertain and educate you on beer this evening because that is our expertise, drinking beer and talking crap.
About penises.
What he said. My name is Shane. I am in I'm not in Victoria. I'm in Vancouver, BC, and I'm going to kick it over to people over there.
Hey, I'm Alan. I'm located in Victoria, British Columbia. That's probably a couple hundred kilometers, if you will, from Shane's location, and a couple of hundred kilometers north of me is situated in a podunk town with, with barely running water.
Douchebag!
This guy, who are you?
I will think of something, buddy. I will.
Okay, that's fine. But what's your name?
In the meantime, I'm Dave, and I am in the Comox Valley.
Otherwise known as Podunkville.
I heard Coax Valley. I don't know what that means, but it sounds awesome.
Comox.
And currently
coming in from on the satellite all the way Toronto, Ontario.
It's our Lord and Savior. Sorry, Locke.
He looks like he's sitting on a throne.
Some sort of deity on his chair, just ready to dispense all kinds of wisdom about beer.
We have Lockhart, everybody. Hey, Lockhart.
Greetings from Ontario.
You sound sad that you're still in Ontario.
Yeah,
Is anybody watching? Is anybody watching this yet?
Look, I'm presently in Toronto. Was in Kingston a day ago. I gotta say, Kingston's awesome. Good times. You gotta get used to Kingston. But yeah, Ontario's good. Ontario's fun. I'm having a good time out here. I've got to say, it's been a slow burn on craft brewing since I've been out here. It's like this summer things have finally started to move to liquor stores, and they're starting to get Ontario products into their own liquor stores. But it's happening slowly. I won't say surely, but it's moving.
Well, it's good to hear.
Okay.
Man. It's good to hear. So, I know that I was supposed to have picked the beer this week, but I have been slammed for time, and Dave picked up the chalice to pick the beer. What did we end up getting, man?
We ended up getting Mount Begbie Brewing Company's Begbie Cream Ale.
Now, why did you pick this beer?
Well, okay, for starters, that's a great face, but I was thinking, okay, we've kind of done different fruit style things over the last few weeks. It seems like we always seem to get something that's got a fruit to it. So I thought, well, let's go back to maybe something a little more, I don't know, regular, in quotes,
Creamy?
if you will.
Creamy, would you say?
And I thought, hey, creamy, yes. I do like Crush, the cream, whatever. Now it's you know what I mean. Help
Just
me out
like
here.
the cream crush stuff with beer in it. That's amazing.
You
I
know.
like it a lot. I don't know how to recover from that, man. I got nothing. It's late at night here.
You know.
So I think
It's
Alan,
no later. It's actually the only one that has that excuse is luck. That's the only one that has that excuse.
This is the label right here. the Begbie Cream Ale. Now, I, of course, think about Begbie as the hanging judge who was kind of a dick. And to the point where the University of Victoria had a building that they named back in the 60s called the Begbie Building, and they renamed it to something completely different because I gather, and I didn't know this, but I learned later on that apparently Begbie enjoyed hanging the natives just for fun. So
That's no good.
that's what I was told. So there you go. Oh my God, look at my nose. So I'm going to pour my beer now because I can. So maybe this will make up for the history.
Well, I don't think he had anything to do with the brewing of it, because I think he's been dead for
A gazillion years.
maybe like 100 years or something.
So there's the color I have on my cam. How does that look? Does it look okay?
That looks nice. It looks nice and golden. I'm doing a pour here. I'm getting the same.
Dave, hold yours up. And
Yeah.
say something too.
What do you think?
It's almost
Does that
got a
look the same?
champagne-y kind of look.
It is kind of champagne.
Yeah.
So
Doesn't smell
Dave,
like
you're getting you're very similar. And Locke, Locke, before we drink our beer, what beer are you sporting today?
Right. So, not being in BC, no references to Begbie out this away. What I got was the Black Oak Brewing 10 Bitter Years Imperial IPA. What we have here,
Bitter years?
10 Bitter Years. Our 10th anniversary beer is a strong brew with bold hop flavors and a dry, toasty finish. I am still bitter after 10 years? Yes. But that's another story. Imperial IPA you have in your hand reflects the passion, hard work of our brewery, puts forward crafting every year beer that hits the shelves. Cheers, Ken. So, Ken, let's give this a try. I'm using a screwdriver because I don't know what I do with my fucking bottle opener.
I'm using a screwdriver just because I don't know.
Just don't do it like Back to the Future. I slashed my
I'm not one of
hand.
those guys. My teeth are fucked up as it is.
I'm focusing the
interested to
camera
see
on
if he
you
actually
as you're
gets
doing
this.
this. I'm just waiting for you to cut your hand, and you're gonna go, I cut my hand, and then somebody else is gonna jump in and play guitar for
I'm
you.
not going to do that. So horrible story. 2 nights ago, my parents were cooking stew, and the
Was he
ceramic,
okay with that?
the ceramic pot that they were using blew up, like exploded.
What?
Yeah, I'm not talking. Tianjin, the one that's happened like in the last 24 hours kind of thing. That not that kind of explosion, but it was made of stew. It was a stew explosion, so there was stew everywhere.
That sounds kind of awesome, but not at the same time.
Well, so it was a fairly clean break. The stew went everywhere, got collected. I had some of it, so did my father, and he broke a tooth because there was some porcelain left in the stew. so he's going to see the dentist in the next little while. So if I'm not opening the bottle with my teeth, there's a good reason why. Anyway, cheers, gentlemen. Let's try this.
Mazel
All right,
tov.
cheers. Mazel tov!
I like it.
Ooh. Actually, this is
It's
quite
refreshing.
good.
It's easy to drink.
Ooh.
It doesn't have a lot of kick to it. The alcohol content on it is kind of low. I mean, it's 4.7%. But I mean, as far as like the flavor goes, I mean, it says it's got a subtle honey flavor. I don't detect that. but
kind of
it's
tasting a little
easy
bit of
drinking.
honey, but
Huh?
I kind of taste a bit of honey, but I'm not.
Do you?
I might just be looking for it now.
Yeah, I'm still not detecting any honey, but it's nice. It's this would taste really good as a draft. Like if you're going to a pub or something,
Yeah, I can see
you
that.
get a pint of it. That's where this would really shine. One thing that's interesting. I mean, I know in the history books as Begbie being the hanging judge based out of Victoria, but
I've been in his courtroom.
yeah, I know, me too. Up in the
So please tell us about your criminal past, Alan.
This was brewed in Mount Begbie Brewing Company, which is in Revelstoke. Is there an actual Mount Begbie?
There's several.
Now, let's be clear. It might not be the same Begbie. The same Begbie that was the judge as the mountain's named after could be two different Begbies.
Well, no, it says here, Matthew Hanging Judge Begbie, 1859. That's the caption on the picture on the bottle.
Could have been the same Begbie.
So I wonder if he was like a traveling judge and just had a whole bunch of crap named after him everywhere.
See how they used to do that. The judges used to go on assizes, which is to say that, before there were, courts in every sort of jurisdiction, every area, they used to send the judges out on what they would call an assize, which is to say that the judge, be part of a touring caravan, and they'd go from town to town, and whatever criminal cases had been held up to that point, they would be done all at once. This goes back to medieval times, over in Europe.
Yeah. Kind of makes me wonder if back then they would have like Begbie on tour, opening act.
Well, look, you'd be wrong to think that folks didn't take it as a kind of entertainment. Hangings were a source of entertainment for most of history. That's part of the deal. When you think about London sort of context, your Jonathan Wilds. They were as much concerned about public entertainment as they were about actually, solving criminal cases, sort of thing, right?
Right.
So in Victoria, you know where the hangings used to take place, right?
Yep. In Bastion Square.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
You got to imagine, in before television, before radio, before any other sources of, vicarious excitement, if somebody's getting hung, everybody turns out for that.
It's great family entertainment. Bring out the kids, hot dogs and balloons, and there's a hanging. Woo!
Yeah, well,
you got like a Ferris wheel there.
12-year-olds,
Bring the kids to a hanging because it's got to be the best entertainment before television was ever invented.
What do you think people are? What do you think people are like? That's what they did.
I know, this is true. Which is why I find it very interesting that people are so shocked when they're watching like Game of Thrones or something, and it's like, oh my God, people are so excited for people brutalizing each other and killing each other off. Well, that's kind of what you did back then, and in fantasy worlds. And you drank beer, ale.
Mead, most likely, I would have thought.
Shut up, Dave.
Hey, Dave, you picked the beer. What do you think of it?
I like it, actually. It seems to have a little bit of citrus to it. I don't know if you think that, but kind of
I
seems to
don't
have a little
detect
bit
that,
of
so.
something going on there.
But I can understand why you might think that.
You know what I did think too, actually, because it's called cream ale. I thought it might have some more body to it.
Oh,
No, I guess not like a stout necessarily, like a Guinness.
so what makes a
Um,
cream ale a cream ale?
but
Like, do we know? Lockhart, do you know?
I don't.
I'll be honest with you, cream ales aren't something I gravitate towards, so I'm not that informed about them.
Okay. Well, that's good. We'll put that up in the column of "We're not experts." It's a cream ale. I don't know what that means, and none of us do, because it's clear that there is absolutely no cream in it whatsoever. Otherwise, it would have like a milky hue to it.
All right, I feel like somebody should do a little research here. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, I was just half expecting Shane to do a Google search, but
I was trying to figure out where Mount Begbie is, to be honest.
well, we're changing directions now. Now we want to know exactly what cream ale is.
All right,
Okay?
fine. Switching
I mean,
directions
maybe
now.
it's kind of like
What
cream
makes
soda.
a cream ale? All right, we're asking the internet. What makes a cream ale? All right,
Maybe
cream
we
ales
should
are
research this
fun.
stuff before we
We
start.
probably should, but you know what? Screw it. We're here now.
According to
Cream ales
Wikipedia, a cream
spawned
ale.
from the American light lager style are brewed as an ale, though are sometimes finished with lager yeast or a lager beer mixed in. You could use corn, rice to lighten the body. You could also, of course, use some types of malts in order to lighten it up, and apparently straw.
Okay, so why do they call it a cream ale if there's no cream in it?
This is probably the worst part of the entire story, is that cream is not involved. It's a complete lie, and I think we should storm the cream ale makers of this province and take them out. Because if they're putting this lie upon the population, we need to curb their...
So it's like false
evilness.
advertising.
Locke, do we have grounds to sue?
Look, I'm drinking an IPA right now. I sort of don't want to get involved.
So basically that's your legal speak for saying that we don't have a case.
Yeah, I mean, it all sounds a little thin. Like, I think in terms of calling it a cream ale, in terms of I don't think that's a warranty. I don't think that's it's certainly not a condition. I think in terms of in terms of expressions within a sales context, I think the term would be mere puff.
By the way, according to what I've found so far, the reason they call them cream ales is due to the fact that they use rice in it. So apparently there is, and the question I actually searched was, is there dairy in a cream ale? And apparently not. It's been called, cream ales have been called lively ales in the past. Sparkling ales, which actually we commented on when we first poured it, that it was kind of looking very much like a champagne. And some forms are called bastard ales. But apparently,
Ales. That sounds
in the past, they did use dextrose in it, which is probably where the cream comes from. But in the case of modern cream ales, there is no cream anywhere in sight. And apparently it's all because of the American brewing. So, but we know that they don't actually make
Damn
real
those
beer in the
Americans.
States. So,
Yeah. Damn the Americans.
wow, I'm going to pour some more of this. This is really...
It's nice.
So what do you guys think? So basically, you were saying earlier about what kind of beer we thought this would be, like what kind of activity or what sort of food you might mix with it. What do you guys think? What sort of things, what kind of meals would you have with this type of beer? And Locke, you're looking so relaxed right now.
I'm mighty relaxed.
So, what do you think?
I would have a chicken cordon bleu with it. With a side of asparagus tips. I think this would go perfect with that. Maybe some mashed potatoes and some cornbread as well. But not with Jell-O afterwards. If you've got Jell-O, you completely wreck you destroy the pairing. So you'll have to go with something else.
Okay, question. What about Jell-O shots?
You want to mix Jell-O shots with beer?
Well, you mentioned Jell-O, so I'm saying, what about Jell-O
I mean
shots?
the wholesome family dessert, Dave.
Oh, my apologies, sir.
So,
God.
so Dave, have you ever actually had Jell-O? Because the way you're talking about Jell-O just does not seem to me like you've ever consumed it.
Unfortunately, I have to answer in the positive. I have eaten Jell-O.
You can get it there?
Well,
I live in the Comox Valley.
this is it's a long-term situation, right? You have to place your order about a month in advance, and it's expensive. It's expensive. So you really put some thought into it when you do order it, because once you get it, man, you're stuck with it. There's no take-backsies on this.
What's really funny is that every time I hear the word Jell-O, I instantly think of that Pink Panther film that had the scene where the villain or one of the characters, I don't think he was the villain, he might whatever. Anyway, he was having a dream that because he was being chased by Clouseau and he was having a dream about this. About he was being hassled by the detective, where he goes out into his backyard and he gets up onto the diving board of his pool and he leaps in and the pool is filled with Jell-O. Do you guys remember this?
No.
You don't? Oh my God!
I think that's the chief inspector you're talking about.
Is that the chief inspector? I can't remember what the character was.
So, because he was basically driven mad by Clouseau. And that sounds like something he would have done, and I vaguely have the scene in my head. And I think that's maybe who it was the chief inspector.
Shane, was this animated or not?
No, it was live action.
Live action. Okay, no. I agree with Dave then. I think that's what we're talking about.
Here we go. I found the reference.
So we're talking about as played by Peter Sellers, yes?
Peter Sellers, yeah.
Yeah, all right.
It's the film Trail of the Pink Panther, and apparently it was 3,000 pounds of Jell-O in the pool.
Really?
And so the character, and there's a video here too. But he's very relaxed. He's out about and about.
Wait,
jump in the pool and splat directly into
that
cream.
When was that? When was that?
1982.
So this right. And when did Peter Sellers die?
Not long after that. I want to say like 86, but I don't remember. Oh my God, he died 1980? Wow. So this came out after he died.
That's why there was a pool full of Jell-O, is because they didn't have Peter Sellers anymore, and they were using whatever they could of what they had, and they were trying to patch it together to make one last.
You know what's really funny is that I just searched. I was doing a search to find the scene on YouTube because I figured it had to be there. what came up actually were a lot of other questions about what would happen if you jumped into a pool of Jello. And I have to say, no one has referred to this video at all to show them that I can actually show you what happens when a human being dives into a pool of Jello. You hit the surface and you stay there. So yeah, there you are. Sorry. Anyway, I wish I want to see the film again. It's been so long since I've seen those films, and especially,
Yeah.
do you guys remember watching the animated Pink Panther? Like it had a show at some point way back when. Did you guys watch that?
Yeah.
Very little.
Very little now.
They were on Netflix for a while.
A buddy
Oh,
of
they're
mine
really? Oh, cool.
loaded up his iPod with a ton of those things because the genius of them is there's no dialogue. So if you're trying to kill time and you have to have your sound turned off, that's the content you want.
Yeah.
My favorite thing, I have to say that I've always wanted to have this happen, is coming home and being ready to attack somebody or defend myself. Like, to me, that is awesome. Like, you walk in the front door, you take off your jacket, and then suddenly you're on alert. Like, you're like, okay, where is the attack going to come from? And then you end up having a short fist fight with, or ninja fight, in this case, with your hired help. So,
Okay.
I don't know. That just kind of...
Okay. I'm going to come to Vancouver at some point coming up. I'm going to hide. I'm going to break into your house while you're out. I'm going to hide. You're going to come in, and I'm going to totally ambush you. And what I'll do is I'll set up cameras and record the whole thing.
But you're missing the bit about it where every time the inspector comes home, he's expecting this to happen. Like he's not coming home and just getting ambushed. He's coming home and he always has like a moment to kind of compose himself, and then he's looking around for where the attack's going to come from. So so you can do what you just planned.
In the film,
Just call me and just say something cryptic on the phone. Yellow mustard, and then hang up, and then I'll be like, "Fuck, he's in the house. Where is he?" I'll get you. Anyway. Oh my god. And by the way, complete redirection of the conversation. Did you guys see the new photos of the next Star Wars film that were released yesterday in Entertainment Weekly?
What?
Yes.
No.
There are 6 or 7 new photographs from the set. And actually, really, a couple of them aren't really new. They're just the same pictures of stuff that we've already seen, just from a different angle.
True, true. And the next trailer comes out in September? Is that right?
I don't know.
September, October?
I hadn't heard that. There's also
it was on one of the articles that talked about when they came out. I just can't remember.
There is an international trailer, and specifically the Korean one has 1.5 seconds of footage in it that the North American trailer did not have. And basically it shows a bunch of stormtroopers collecting on a snowy planet. Actually, they look like snowtroopers on a snowy planet, and they're all in formation and looking at a couple of bad-looking dudes up on a stage.
What is that about? What is it about the Japanese film market that gets all of these little tidbits that we don't get here in North America?
It's not Japanese, it's Korean.
Sorry, Korean, sorry. Yeah. Asian market in general. This is not the first time it's happened.
So two different contexts. Japan used to have a different music market, and the truth is, Japanese fans go crazier for music than European and North American fans do, and that drives it.
And I have to say, in recent months, I have been I've been listening to playlists of J-pop, and K-pop, which is Korean pop.
Yeah.
I have no idea what they're saying.
There's a cold
Kinda
war.
catchy.
There's a cold war of pop going on between J-pop and K-pop right now. But understand, K-pop is fundamentally state-funded. Like they decided that they wanted to have a world beater, international killer pop phenomenon go on in Korea, and so they put dollars down. Well, I don't know about dollars. What's the Korean currency actually? Not yen. That'd be
Deutschmark. I have no idea.
I don't know what the Korean currency is, but here's the thing: they decided they wanted to compete on an international level, and so the government there put a whole bunch of funding into developing not like a Canadian arts program where it's sort of like, well, if you can, justify whatever you're doing by a bunch of words, then we'll go, oh, okay, because I guess that's probably art if you say it's art, and we'll take your word for it. No, it's like you got to have an audience, you got to be killer, you got to make that audience pay. It's got to be a commercial success, and as long as you can do those things, we will support what you're doing. We will invest in what you're doing. And
So we have.
K-pop has been a thing. Yeah, like don't kid yourself. I mean, Gangnam Style was sort of a one-off wonder in a way, but there was some real dollars behind development there.
Right. So we have the Korean government to blame for Gangnam Style, is what I'm getting at. Like,
Yeah, but, which is to say that I dig it. Like, I'm all about it. It's excellent.
oh, I don't dig it.
I don't.
I'd like to dig it at a grave, is what I'm like.
Oh, come
to do.
on.
No, it's so awful.
Oh, what are you talking about? It's great.
No, Gangnam Style? What?
It's almost as good as tub thumping, man.
What?
Oh my God! Don't bring up tub thumping. I suffered for weeks because of you, Dave, and your obsession with tub thumping.
I have a
Not happening again.
demo somewhere in a box somewhere. No joke.
Nice. Oh, and there was no
No,
obsession.
like
Shane
from-
is
like from
overstating
that
his
one.
case a bit.
Gangnam Style was
again.
awful. Not only was Gangnam Style itself awful, but the dance was absolutely brutal. Like, actually watching people do that,
No.
oh my God, I just wanted to punch them. Punch them
You
in
mean
the
like this?
nuts.
You want to punch me now? Come on, punch me now, mother!
I
Come
want
on!
to come over to your
I'm
place
ready for
and
you.
I want to like
I'm
break into
ready
your
for you.
house
Come
and
on!
I'm going
My
to
Gangnam
ambush
Style
you.
is gonna dodge your punches. Look how I'm dodging.
You do realize, Alan, that Gangnam Style is a full-on parody, right?
No, I didn't realize that.
Oh.
To be honest, I haven't really put a lot of effort into research on it. I just heard it and said, this is dumb, and saw the dance and said, oh, this is even more dumb, and I kind of turned it off.
Indeed. Well, he is apparently parodying the super wealthy
Clearly.
in Korea.
Why? Do they pretend they're riding horses, or?
No, they ride for it.
There
Oh,
you
okay.
And I'm all about riding horses as well, by the way. But
I've always wanted to have a horse.
Super wealthy.
Of
No,
course.
you don't.
Well, a horse is a horse, of course, of course.
Always trust one of those beasts further than I could throw it, which is to say, not at all.
You have a hate on for horses?
We used to have one. I never rode her. Sorry, that's a lie. I rode her once. That was it.
what
Do
is
you have a sheep?
What?
Alan and I
You
just
ride
turned
the
into
sheep?
12-year-old children.
Yeah, I know. I could tell. It's
I
a
only rode her
fucking
once.
horse.
Oh my God.
Wow.
I don't know how the hell we got to horse sex from Star Wars, but um, I would have to watch this back after we publish it and just sort of see the magic that happens. But so basically, the beer we have this week is something we give a thumbs up to because it's a light beer. It's something that you could have on tap. I think is probably a better way to serve it. It must be cold because I think with all sort of lager-esque cream ales, they're better. They're not very good warm. At least I don't like them warm.
No. It makes the cream curdle. It's warm.
Delicious like Judge.
I'm glad that on the bottle, by the way, and I just noticed this, that they actually do comment that he was the hanging judge, and the photograph is from 1859. From the courtesy of the BC Archives.
Everybody was violent back then. I want to take a couple of moments to talk about Black Oak just for a second here. I got to say, this is a tasty beverage. This is as hoppy a beer as I've had outside of BC in Canada. For Ontario craft brewing, I got to say this is some competitive stuff here. I'm all about this. I wish these guys a lot of future. Black Oak Brewing, cheers. Nice work. 10 bitter years. I hope the next 10 years are equally bitter because right now your hops are kicking some ass.
Where's the brewery?
So
the brewery is called Dark Oak, or is that the beer?
Black Oak. That's the brewery. Black Oak. So brewed and bottled by Black Oak Brewing Co. Limited, Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Now, for Toronto, Ontario, Canada, I like Mill Street. I love Amsterdam. And I'm all of a sudden all about Black Oak. Mad and noisy, okay, yeah, props. But, this is good.
Look at that head. That's a nice head. That looks meaty. I mean, that's
pretty impressive. Nicely done.
Excellent. I'd like to try that.
Yeah.
I hope I don't have to go to Ontario to do it.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. So, I'm not going to go all political, but isn't it funny that none of the candidates have talked about the issue that I care about, which is how come we don't have free trade in Canada? Not with Canada and some other place. Within Canada. Free trade in Canada. Good idea, yeah?
Did you
like it?
Did you see the thing on the TPP today?
I didn't.
Where the TPP... there's two things that have been in the news lately about the privatization of Canada Post and the CBC. And the other component is the increase of the copyright from death plus 75, I think is what it is now, or 70, wanting to increase it to 90 years for copyright holdings. So, and by the way, all of this is of course connected to the TPP being the trade partnership between the Pacific Rim countries. So basically, the additional component is that if a company or organization in, say, Australia or New Zealand decided that Canadians shouldn't access certain content that's produced by their country or other countries within the TPP, that it would be the responsibility of the government, i.e. Canada, to block our internet access to certain things on the internet.
Yeah. This is the same garbage that's going on in Europe right now. I'm really...
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I don't want to bring us down on our beer podcast, but I am terrified of this legislation that's being organized and debated and behind closed doors without any of our input. It's kind of on hold at the moment, I gather. They were meeting in Hawaii recently, but I think last week. But it's getting a lot of flack all of a sudden. So I think some people have realized what it is. So yeah, fuck the TPP. Thank you. Yeah, so anyway, I enjoy being dead for 90 years after I die, and I still get copyright royalties.
Article in The Economist recently about reforming patent law.
I certainly hope patent law gets chucked out and remade, because it's so far behind now. It's sad what it's become.
We need to move on.
Yeah. So anyway, boys, anything else you guys want to talk about? We've had a week since we last met up. Is there anything that's happened, anything nerdy or beery or anything important for our audience?
The only thing I want to say is go Blue Jays. They won 10 games in a row today, and they're now sitting first place in the AL East. Let's hope they can keep it up for the next 2 months and make the playoffs for the first time in 21 years.
Sorry, who are the Blue Jays?
I'm looking forward to that ambush.
Those two. Go Riders! Oh wait, we are so sucky this season. Sorry, I'm depressed now because I said the word riders and now I'm all sad.
Because you've just realized how much of a turncoat you really are.
I don't know what I'm talking about. So...
No, you don't.
Burn. Burn. Well played. Locke, when are you coming back?
Good question. So if I don't move to England before then, I'm probably going to be back sort of like, early September.
Are you going to bring that chair with you?
That looks like comfy.
I got to say, I'm loving that chair.
Mm.
For somebody of your height to be comfortable in a chair like that, it's a chair to keep.
Not the only thing I've thought about in the last little while about height, but no. Look, we'll see about chairs. I gotta have the kind of a accommodation to support a chair like this. It's all coming together, but right now my financial condition is improving. It is not yet improved.
All right, so. I have no idea how long this show has been so far. I lost count.
We're probably near 50 minutes.
Yeah, easily. So, Alan.
Yeah.
What's our beer next week?
I have no idea.
Dave!
I'll pick one.
What's our beer next week?
Oh. It's a Scorpion.
Scorpion?
I can't remember who it's from, though.
Hey, Lockhart, you're still going to be in Toronto next week, right?
Yeah, likely.
Can you get the Trooper beer there?
What, the 666 one?
No, the just Trooper.
Trooper? You can get standard Trooper in Vancouver. You can.
Right, but can you get it there in Toronto?
Oh, I would be fairly sure I can. Yeah.
Well, why don't we do that one next week?
That's a good plan, because you know what's happening on the 14th, which is like 2 days from now, is they're releasing their new single, Speed of Light.
There we go.
All right, Trooper. Next beer, Trooper.
Trooper beer. Right on.
The episode writes itself.
So, Alan, if somebody is going to find you online, where are they going to find you?
Probably in Dark Shadows. But they could also go on Twitter and look me up at Alan M. Ford.
And Dave.
Over to you, Dave.
Yeah, well, you'd probably have a bit of trouble finding me, really. But if you were so inclined, you could see me on the Twitters at The Fool. That's Phule. Yeah. Not that I do much on there, but it's there.
And Locke, what about you?
So I've been advertising, Lockheed Fulton on my Twitter account, but the truth is, I just got myself a new phone. It's a new BlackBerry, and the Twitter app asked me too many questions, and I got frustrated and killed it. So I don't know when the next time I'm going to be on Twitter.
Oh.
Wow.
I'm just being honest.
Not an advert for BlackBerry. Ouch.
Yeah, I picked BlackBerry over Twitter. That's my deal. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Bye,
Cool.
Twitter.
Cool.
Bye.
Wow. All right.
So, and of course, you can find us at thecraftyboys.ca, and of course, as well on the Twitters at thecraftyboys. And
What about yourself, Shane?
oh yeah, me, it's Shane B, or at shanesworld.ca, where I do everything, and you'll figure it out. So, thank you guys for watching, all 0 of you, and thank you guys, especially you, Locke, for making it out again. Next week, we might record on Monday, maybe?
Really?
Maybe Sunday?
Wow. Why?
Maybe. Mainly because I am out of internet and cell phone coverage on Wednesday.
Oh,
so
where you going?
I'm going to
that's
Mount
right.
Baker, and it's going to be fun.
Nice.
Taking 5-6 days off to
should
play
go to
in Mount
Mount
Baker 9.
July, August.
It should be fun. So say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.